that moment when you said, बस यही करना है?
I was nobody. I had no money.
Oh,
तो
interesting.
बहुत young था ना, तो emotional basically कहीं ना कहीं जुड़ना था.
I mean,
failure, etc. So that failure tag was like revolving around me.
What have been the skill set gaps that you have seen across these geographies?
मैं अपने आप सोचता था ये, which was the most failed statement I could ever make. For about 6 to 8 months, my family was behind me that मैं मर जाऊंगा, बस don't worry and you take it forward then.
Harry Potter में वो dialogue है, right? Help comes to those at Hogwarts who ask for it. To that dilemma of यार क्या है यार, इनकी कहाँ फंस गए, मतलब of course there's a mission driven path. You are applying there like ये तो कोई ये कर लेंगे, ये बाद में कर लेंगे.
Try doing it on your own, by the way. All founders. Try doing it on your own once. We shut down that company because it was a eureka moment for us. By the way, I call myself Jack of all trades, master of none.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Puff Nights by Startup Movers, Founders Unfiltered. Today we have with us Mr. Pratik Bhardwaj, founder and CEO of Skill in a Box, a skill tech startup working in Indian demographic market size. Pretty interesting startup to look out for. Let's get to know their journey from start to scale and more. Hi Pratik and welcome to another episode of the Puff Nights. So Puff is
That is a very controversial name.
So we'll bring meaning to it.
Okay.
Which is being founders unfiltered, just having candid conversations, getting to know real stories. Given the demography that India has, I think these stories need to go out. So thank you for taking initiative to tell your story to the world, especially to the Indian demography. And we're looking forward to unwinding a lot of unknown stories around you. So we've always, as job seekers, whenever I've interviewed people and I've asked them this question, tell me more about yourself apart from the resume, 99.9% read the whole resumes again. But I think that's the difference between a job creator and a job seeker, to know the self. So Pratik, I have to ask you the same thing. Who's Pratik Bhardwaj? Apart from all the social media that I've seen about you, why don't you we start off with getting to know Pratik before we go into the journey of the startup?
Got it. Thank you, Sambhav. And first of all, thank you for actually doing this with us. I think we really haven't spoken a lot online about our journey and how we have done what we have done. But it means a lot when somebody like you is recognizing us, because you've... so for everybody, Sambhav is somebody who's worked with the biggest of the mamas of the world to small startups like us. And you have, I think, like what I've heard about you and what I've read about you is like you have worked across more than 200, 300 startups as a portfolio, maybe more. I may be just tiling it down here.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of experience over there. So first of all, thank you so much for recognizing our work.
Our pleasure.
And like this is a true testament to probably everybody at Skrinobox who has worked hard, be it Ritvik, be it Kanis, be it Kishle, be it Astha, be it Kauri, be it Shriya, all our team members. Like you asked me that job seeker and a job creator, right? So at Skrinobox, this mentality जो आपने भी बोली कि that what is different, I think it is same for all of us over here at Skrinobox. And our team doesn't, like, we hate even saying the word employee, by the way. I mean, to each their own, to each company their own. Some probably will call me down for it. But we say that we're a team, we're a very close-knit team, and everybody is an entrepreneur over here, entrepreneur/intrapreneur. And our team's mindset is exactly the same. They work with purpose. They work with a whole belief that they're actually solving a problem. And yeah, I think that is very important. If I have to define myself, who is Pratik, other than my work, other than my job, other than everything else, I think Pratik is somebody who just loves smiling and who loves helping people. And this has been the basis of my life, I kid you not, since my childhood days, in fact. And I have said this somewhere else as well, that चाहे वो मेरे बचपन में था, whether I was like, probably I was very, very big on sports.
Okay.
I was a sports person. I used to play, you name a sport, I used to basically play that for the school teams, for the college teams, etc., etc. And so big, very big on sports, but everywhere I used to love helping people and basically how do I basically help my team win? If I was doing a team sport, if I was doing an individual sport, whether it was athletics or let's say badminton or something like that, how do I make my school win? How do I make my house win? So always that problem statement for me was not I, me, myself, but literally how will it impact the others? Same thing back in college. Like I was a hardcore gamer also in college, like a hardcore online gamer.
Best one?
Some in some games, yes, I did try my best, but the best also was because that I wanted my team to win. So very and the gamers will understand this. Like I used to play Dota, I used to play League of Legends, I used to play World of Warcraft, and if you look and if you ask my friend what is that number one role which Prateek used to play in all of these games, wars of support. Wars of defense. Like everywhere I was like, bhai, मैं मर जाऊंगा. But don't worry, and you take it forward then.
Interesting.
So yeah, so that is me. I love smiling. I have been told by a lot of people that you keep smiling all the time.
Interesting.
I love helping people, and that is I think what we radiate at Stern Box as well.
Yeah, I think you've touched upon even before you started with yourself, you've kept your team above you. I mean, you never started off explaining who Prateek is.
Yeah.
But you started off as this is the team, this is the culture, and then you kind of dwell down into who you are. I think as a sign of a good leadership, I've always seen good leaders keeping team above self. So good to know that thought, and I never knew you were into sports and gaming. Counter-Strike also?
Yeah. Counter Strike, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, सब खेला है. Road Rash से Mario से लेकर Contra सब खेला है मैंने.
Interesting.
I still play. I have a PS5. And I still play.
I was jumping the whole queue and coming to the last section now because you've touched upon gaming, sports. Do you still get time to do all of that?
Now I have found time. I finally, in my life, I always wanted to buy a PS5. 3 years back तक I was nobody. I had no money. तो मेरे पास पैसे नहीं थे कुछ खरीदने के लिए. So finally, I think life's has become good since the past couple of years. Good as in, of course, we've really worked hard for it and we've really come forward. I think it's my team again, basically, who keeps on pushing me. Like, I read some of those things over here. That is exactly my team. That's not even me.
Yeah.
That's my team pushing me that you should go buy that. You should go buy that. You should go buy that. You should go on a vacation. You should go do that, etc., etc. And yeah, I've now finally find some time at nights. I play a lot of FIFA now, basically. That is what I do, but only in Pune.
Only in Pune. So I'll come to the city liking in all a little later. But let's just dwell into, because when I went to look at who Prateek is as a homework,
Right.
I found a lot of, and an interesting fact is we just did a podcast with another tech founder
Right.
and they were from commerce background. So both the founders of a company that got an exit recently
Wow.
were not techies. They were from a commerce background and then came into tech because of the liking. In your case, I found you were a B.Tech, mechanical, and now you're into fashion. So why don't you just run us through a little bit of this decadal journey of skills and building training centers? What has propelled you to be in this direction?
Yeah.
Especially after engineering. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Again, engineering has got to do a lot of it has a lot of role to play in a fashion company or a makeup company like us, and it literally didn't start with fashion and makeup, right? Like I'll give you a very quick elevator on like after college I worked with ILFS Skills. ILFS was then the biggest vocational skilling provider in India. In fact, जब पूरा सरकार का mandate शुरू हुआ था of vocational skilling in India, across India, so the first scheme which was launched was STAR, Standard Training Assessment and Reward. And this was way back in 2013, just before basically I think the current government had come to power, just before that. And I worked with ILFS to actually initiate that scheme with them and run and build training centers across areas. I found an opportunity over there. I started my own company called as CSB Education and Scale. This was back in 2013.
Okay.
And CSB was the name of is the name of my father actually, Chandrasekhar Bharadwaj. तो बहुत young था ना, तो emotional basically कहीं ना कहीं जुड़ना था.
I mean, you know the story.
हाँ.
Okay.
So वहाँ से मैंने शुरू किया and I actually piggyback on ILFS. I became like a franchisee partner for them where I used to set up training centers for ILFS across multiple cities. सो मध्य प्रदेश, उत्तर प्रदेश, राजस्थान के रूरल एरियाज में हमने काफ़ी काम किया है. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर एमपी में बोलूँ तो माय फर्स्ट सेंटर वाज इन पचमढ़ी. आई मीन नोबडी विल एक्सपेक्ट मी टू open a center in Pachmadi. For everybody who knows what Pachmadi is,
Yes,
it's a very small hill station in MP with the very least amount of population. But my first training center was there. Of course, kudos to my network and my mama who was in the army. He really helped me do that. And then it was Piparia, then Narsinghpur, then Itarsi, then Katni, then Jabalpur. तो मैंने पूरा बेल्ट में बहुत काम किया एंड काफी ट्रेनिंग सेंटर्स लगाए. दिस इज वेयर वी यूज टू स्किल पीपल अक्रॉस हार्डकोर जॉब रोल्स. वहां पे देखो इंजीनियरिंग काम आई, वेल्डिंग था, प्लम्बर था, फिटर था, इलेक्ट्रिशियन था, सिक्योरिटी था, रिटेल था, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. तो वहां से काफी बेसिकली हमने एक्सपीरियंस गेन किया ऑन ग्राउंड वर्क की ग्राउंड में कैसे जाके आप कैसे काम करते हो इन वेरी स्मॉल टाउन सिटीज एंड हाउ डू यू बेसिकली मोबिलाइज देयर, हाउ डू यू बेसिकली इवन हायर पीपल ओवर देयर. बिकॉज जब आप स्कीम्स ऐसे रन कर रहे हो तो दैट टू एट अ वेरी रूरल लेवल, तो आपका ये फेसबुक मेटा वगैरह ये सब काम नहीं आता. यू एक्चुअली नीड ग्राम पंचायत, यू नीड बेसिकली योर लाइजनिंग विद the pradhans over there, the gram panchayats over there, the local basically MLAs over there, etc etc. तो वहाँ पे, and this was I was 23 24 years old. So that kind of an exposure at that time, that too with no like backing as sort, like my father comes from the army, so for everybody basically literally matlab I am a Fauji kid, so I didn't really have that kind of a financial backing, so I had to do basically everything on my own. So yeah, I think that is we ran there for about 7 years. 2019 was when we shut down that company because scaling the company was very very hard. I really, this is a podcast, I really wouldn't want to basically say कि क्या उसमें खराब था क्या नहीं था. I think probably we just couldn't scale it up from a perspective of having multiple like thousands of training centers across India, that too running on a government this thing on specifically government mandates. So we ran Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana. I ran a lot of CSR projects also. But I think, and I couldn't scale the business up that much in 7 years. Like what what's Linux? Yeah, there. Absolutely. Not even like 1/4 of that. I couldn't scale that up. And but I realized that this problem is huge. And the problem cannot just be solved by the government intervention. I think we really need to basically find a solution over here where everybody can actually, like, we can reach to people's doorsteps. Like, घर घर तक अगर नहीं पहुंचे तो कैसे होगा बेसिकली. हाँ, एजुकेशन पहुंच चुका है आपका, हायर एजुकेशन पहुंच चुका है, डिग्रियाज पहुंच चुकी हैं घर तक बेसिकली, तो कला क्यों नहीं पहुंची है. सो आई थिंक दैट वाज द पॉइंट वेयर वी सेड दैट ओके फाइन, Skillner Box was the name conceptualized back then, but it was not fashion still. Me being from an engineering background, सो पहले Skillner Box की छोटी किट्स हुआ करती थी वेयर हमने बच्चों के लिए बनाई थी, दैट बच्चे सीख सकें कि सोलर पैनल कैसे बनाना है, IoT होम ऑटोमेशन सिस्टम कैसे बनाना है, रोबोटिक किट्स कैसे बनानी है, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, बिकॉज दैट इज समथिंग व्हाट आई न्यू अबाउट. And I made that product, I built that product. In fact, the first incubator which we went into was based on that product. It was never on fashion. The first funds I raised was based on that product. It was never fashion.
It was solar.
It was solar. It was solar panel kits. It was IoT home automation kits. क्योंकि वो product मेरे पास बना हुआ था. मतलब when you're raising funds, you need to show like a very small prototype of any product, right?
Yeah.
So we did that. And this is like like we can use this as a tagline, not as a tagline, but when you're raising your funds and your first set of angels or your investors actually never invest in the idea but the person.
Absolutely.
And this was because my investors never knew that I'm going to flip the company into fashion. So this is a very small journey of my 7-10 years.
Yeah.
Before we started SIB.
So I have some questions that are linked to it, but I'll give you my own bias when I first met you, because
Right.
for me, impact was always non-profit until I saw Skillner Box.
Right.
And I'm sure ILFS program, I don't know if it was for profit or not for profit or impact. But I think the true color of that project would also have been impact more than the profit.
Yes.
And that was the intent, and that was the feedback I've always got from the system.
Right.
Now, you've, in that process, gone through all geographies across India and now, I think, Bharat.
Yes.
And you've actually seen the journey of what is to be built up for Bharat. What have been the skill set gaps that you have seen across these geographies? Where does Bharat stand, say, 10 years prior to today and today? Have we filled up those gaps? What is left? What is still required to be done? Maybe you can touch upon a little macro level data point here, just to understand the need for Skillner Box, where it is coming from.
Right. So I think Bharat again has a long way to go, and I keep saying this every day that the real people of Bharat, and I'm not saying people like you, me, and people in this office today, the real Bharat today needs to basically really upskill themselves by this small concept and the small concept, everybody should take it like a hope. Like anybody who's seeing this podcast or anybody who's seeing this video, please take this. The very small concept of learning by doing should literally basically be there in people's hearts, because जब तक आप करोगे नहीं और सिर्फ सीखते रहोगे, उसको आप execute नहीं करोगे, तो you're not going to move an inch at the end of the day. And this whole ideology of basically just एक काफी सारे platforms हैं जो ट्राई करा है हमारे रूरल इंडिया तक या हमारे भारत तक जाने का, बट execution has always been a problem. And Sklearnerbox, when we started Sklearnerbox, we wanted it to become a 360-degree platform where we not just basically help you learn, but we also help you earn. Earning was the execution part of the learning, basically. And I think that is one thing which probably India still misses out on, Bharat still misses out on. And second, I think a lot of these new age systems which are coming into the picture, be it AI or be it which has actually helped a lot of work. People say AI से job जाएगी. मैं कहता हूँ यार, अगर आप AI आपने अच्छी तरह सीख लिया, you can actually become a creator of a job.
Yeah.
So, but it's just that who is there to actually help them take those first steps? Like we say at Sklearnerbox, like you might have read that ek kadam aage every day. So there people really need to know कि exactly मुझे कैसे steps रखने हैं in an order to basically bifurcate myself into wherever I want to go. The first few steps will always be the same, right? Of probably anything. Like अगर आपने पहले ideate किया, ठीक है, आप ये करना चाहते हो, फिर आप सेकंड स्टेप पे गए, आपने ढूंढा कि मैं कहाँ से कर सकता हूँ या कर सकती हूँ, फिर आपने ढूंढ के बेसिकली कि अच्छा ठीक है, शॉर्टलिस्ट किया कि ठीक है मैं ऑनलाइन भी कर सकती हूँ, मैं ऑफलाइन भी कर सकती हूँ, राइट? उसके बाद यू बाइफिकेट योरसेल्फ. बट दिस होल ट्री ऑफ योर लाइफ, ये किसी को कोई बना के तो दिखाए किसी इंसान को, एंड मेक श्योर सिर्फ दिखाए नहीं, उससे फिर कराए भी, उसको चलना भी सिखाए उस पर. सो आई थिंक दिस इज मिसिंग इन इंडिया एट अ वेरी मैक्रो लेवल. मतलब वी कैन डाइव डीपर इनटू अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, बट एट अ मैक्रो लेवल आई थिंक पीपल जस्ट नीड अ direction, and people need the right set of resources and the right set of mentors. I think mentorship is very underrated in India. लोगों को पता ही नहीं है mentors कौन है basically. But mentors is basically the direction which you take in life, and person who has actually gone through that journey, who knows the hurdles. For example, one of our investors, Akshay, he literally says us कि यार अगर मैं तेरे साथ हूँ और तूने यही काम में अगर 10 साल लगा दी तो फिर मेरा फायदा क्या होगा?
Absolutely.
So I think that's the basis of mentorship.
वो हैरी पॉटर में वो डायलॉग है, राइट? हेल्प कम्स टू दोज एट हॉगवर्ट्स हु आस्क फॉर इट.
We say it in Sklearnerbox every time.
Ask for it.
No, we say this. We mention Harry Potter, that help is always given to those who ask for it / deserve it.
Yeah, I think for Bharat that is very important as a culture to blend along and ask for help whenever it is needed. But I'll divert a little and let's explore an alternative.
Yeah.
What I can now gauge is for last 10 years you've been an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You've never explored the corporate side, because I have few stories where people tried to be an impact creator but suffered with scale.
Right.
And then eventually joined a bigger impact creator as a executor versus a founder.
Right.
What has been your journey when आपको कभी thought नहीं आया यार corporate, let's go the safe route?
Yeah.
What has been that journey?
I think I am a massive risk taker. Considering I'm not married yet.
And I have a question on that also, how things change, but would you touch upon?
So I am a massive risk taker since early days, since my childhood, and I think the risk taking abilities have just increased over a period of time. So entrepreneurship has always been that element of me in my life. स्कूल में था तभी मैं बहुत entrepreneur था, कुछ नई नई चीजें बेसिकली करता रहता था. कॉलेज में me and a couple of friends, like first thing, you enter into first year of college, what do you do? आप chill करते हो, आप ये करते हो, आप वो करते हो. मेरा एक दोस्त लेके आया यार, हम हाइड्रो न्यूमैटिक सिस्टम्स पे एक पेपर प्रेजेंट करते हैं. Now like let's go for it. So we actually made like a whole hydro pneumatic system, etc. Then second, we made a whole team which is called as Assailing Falcon, which still exists in VIT, and which actually where we were the first flag bearers of Assailing Falcon. Me and my group of friends, we made a whole plane which actually flew at the Lockheed Martin Air Base in the US.
And interesting stories.
And the first when we had started this team, फिर हम this was about second year of college, and हम जा रहे थे कि हमको बेसिकली अभी इन्वेस्टमेंट लानी है, कि पैसा लाना है, क्योंकि पूरा प्लेन बनाना है. द फर्स्ट बेसिकली कंपनी विच वी वेंट टू वाज रेड बुल. पैसे तो उन्होंने नहीं दिए, उन्होंने 2000 कैन दिए थे हमें, बट दैट वाज माय फर्स्ट.
That's an investment of its own.
Yes.
1,000 Red Bulls.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. I don't think many people would be still now aware that you were into that. Why don't you tell a little more about this project? I am very keen to know. Both of them.
So I think I haven't really gone out in the public and spoken a lot about a lot of things
Right.
since the past, because हमने पिछले 3.5 साल से we've just been head down building. We have zero PR, we have zero. अब हमने थोड़ा बहुत शुरू किया है. My team is like, okay, fine, we need to get you out there, we need to build the corporate branding and all of those things, etc., etc. But yeah, matlab, I think one of the reasons for our success is that so we haven't done any PR, and जो भी हमारे पास आया PR के लिए, we always said no to them. And yeah, so this is exactly how Skrinobox basically has been going on.
At some point in time, I think all founders go through that dilemma of, yeah, क्या है यार इनकी कहाँ फंस गए मतलब.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a mission-driven path. You are ambitious to achieve it. But then you see the other side of the story. Similar folks who had similar kind of backgrounds, 9 to 5, Saturdays off, chill hai. But at the end of the day, you go through that cycle and realize, no, you're on the right path.
Yeah.
How have those moments in your mind and heart? Yeah.
So working for Impact since the beginning, I think that is one thing basically which has happened for me, and I give it to scale of Skrinobox today, is that मैंने अपनी industry कभी change नहीं करी है. I am in the skilling ecosystem since day zero of my professional life, and I have been working at and for Impact since day zero again. And yes, you rightly said Impact. अगर आप बोलोगे तो सब लोग NGO की तरफ ले जाते थे.
Yeah, and that's the thought.
हाँ, but exactly this was a narrative which I wanted to change since day zero. That ki why can't Impact companies be profitable? Why can't a P&L come over there? I think if it comes over there, there are high chances of success rather than basically making it an NGO. Because for me, I still believe that कि अगर आप किसी को कुछ free दोगे, it won't add a lot of value. But अगर आप किसी से पैसे कुछ लोगे, it'll actually add a lot of value. That's the fundamental rule of economics, I guess.
Absolutely.
So इम्पैक्ट के लिए बेसिकली जब हमने काम किया, मेरे को ये सैटरडे संडे कभी, मैं आज भी अपने टीम को बोलता हूँ, अगर आप मुझे सैटरडे संडे देते हो, लेट्स से आई एम नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग, what will I do? I will eventually wake up in the morning, I will open my laptop and probably just basically fiddle around with all the departments or multiple departments or some strategy here and then I'm actually working. Why do I do that? Because I just love what I do. It's not work for me. This is my balance. Like अगर मैं वो काम नहीं करूँ तो फिर then I am in like, okay, this is not good. Something is bad today. Something is not right today. But people at Skrinobox really love what they do. Why not corporate? I think I just got that entrepreneurial bug really early in my journey and I just loved everything about it. And I think the outcomes which came out of the entrepreneurial bug also, like impact काफी ज्यादा आया था, whether it was my first startup, चाहे छोटे लेवल पे आया हो, अगर हमने गांव में ट्रेनिंग दी, उसकी नौकरी लगी, उसने इनकम कमाना शुरू किया, and that person is coming to me at such a young age. I was at such a young age and saying that thank you so much, मतलब you've really basically helped me go from here to here. वो काफी soul enriching था, and आज की डेट में आज स्केल पे तो काफी soul enriching है. So I think that definitely has brought a tear in my eye a lot of times. In fact, the latest was like right now when Sanjana, one of our learners who is now working with us, literally got featured by FICCI at the World Youth Skills Day. And I had a tear AI moment that Sanjana could actually do it and beat the other learners. So I think it's just the core impact which you create. And at the end of the day, I think Impact Startup should have a P&L. It should be profitable and it should be impactful for both.
Yeah, I think amongst the portfolio startup that I have seen, you're among those few hand counted that had numbers before the noise. Like you said, no PR, no noise, but there was impact, there was numbers on the profit and loss, and then the PR came in later. Usually we've seen it's the opposite, where there's a lot of noise, but when you go and check the numbers out, the story is still building. If this doesn't resonate with this noise that is going out. So we'll come back to your Ikigai, because it's very rare for people to say Saturdays and Sundays are like any other days.
Yeah.
So if you're good at something, you love what you do, if it is what the world needs, and you can be paid for it. If all four are combining, that's your Ikigai.
Yeah.
But I think in your case, when I'm getting to know the stories, not just yours, but the energy and the vibe that your team is bringing out, it kind of resonates. Is it those one of few cases where everybody's Ikigai is same around and everybody is so engrossed in creating? So what's your thought on that? Is it achieved? Is it on the path of it?
Yeah. I don't think so. There's anything called as perfection, and it probably won't be like I've achieved everything. At least to the epitome of reaching the highest level of Ikigai, etc.
Yeah.
But how we do it is because I think the very first thing what we do when anybody comes into the company, the young Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas, basically, we try to help them see a big vision for themselves first. And if you ask everybody at Skrinabox, like, what do we say at large, be it any town hall or be it basically any induction or be it any interview or be it any one-on-one basically talks, uh, the baseline for everybody over here that you have to become the best version of yourself. And how do you become that? You become that by learning, unlearning, relearning, and just basically keep doing this on repeat again and again, again and again, and making sure that the person next to you, you're also helping that person basically learn, unlearn, relearn, and go through that whole graph of tree basically.
Yeah.
And this is so well put in Skrinabox journey today. So I think we've built a whole close-knit environment at Skrinabox. And honestly, Sambhav, I think my team is my biggest encore. It's my biggest back. And I think we are strangers who just came together with a purpose of building Bharat, solving somebody's problem and being happy with it and smiling with it. I think the biggest currency what we have earned is us, and money is just a byproduct of us.
Yeah.
And that just keeps us going on and on and on.
So we do value reflections in every town hall every quarter. So I'll tell you the value systems, and you will be surprised to know the resonating aspect here. One of the value systems is strive for progress, not perfection. You cannot have achieved it.
Yeah.
That's first. The second we say is unlearn, relearn, and relearn. And the most important, so we have about 7, 8. The last one is the most important. Stay happy. That is what I think matters the most. And good to know that it's reflecting across the founder mindset. So let's jump on to Skill in a Box now, because we actually do want to hear that side of the story.
Right.
Why the brand name Skill in a Box? What's the elevator pitch for Skill in a Box? What
Right.
is it that Skill in a Box do?
Right.
Maybe you can just share that insight. Yeah.
A great insight for anybody who's watching this और कोई भी अपना startup शुरू करना चाहता है और नाम में confused है, etc. Go ask your customers because our customers gave us this name.
Oh, interesting.
तो जब मैंने एक किट्स वाला काम शुरू किया था जहाँ पे किट्स बनाते थे, whether it is of a solar panel, whether it is an IoT home automation system, etc. And हमने trial किए. This was where I was staying in my society. I actually went and distributed these kits to a lot of kids over there. And of course, kids के साथ they had their mothers over there.
Wait, can you tell about a little bit more about the kit also? What is this?
Okay, so this was a DIY kit on how to make your own home automation systems.
Got it.
So it was a step-by-step, basically curriculum what we had made, that if it's a home automation system, the first thing is you need to know about your tools over there. These tools are basically your soldering irons, your wires, your clippers, your etc. etc. The second activity was learning the art of soldering, because before you actually get to solder your device, you need to learn how to solder.
Yeah.
So we made customized PCB boards where people could actually learn soldering. The second activity was where you learn the laws of electric current, whether it is Ohm's law or series or parallel, on a PCB board which you're going to solder on your own. So बच्चा वो करता था. And the third was building your final product, which was in this case the IoT home automation system. The product got changed. Like एक kit में था IoT, एक kit में था motion sensors, एक kit में था आपका solar panel, etc. etc. So I still have the curriculum, by the way. If anyone wants to start the startup, please connect with me. I literally have everything.
I'm getting to speak that sentence. Bhai sahab, ek is line mein aa gaya. I mean, from there to here, why don't you continue?
Yes. So I used to take these kits. First of all, I actually took classes for all of these skill sets myself. Like, if I have to go back into the journey, I actually joined a very small training center in Pitampura, kahin pe basically. And I used to go every day. And I was the only person जो एकदम मतलब मस्त फॉर्मल्स में ऐसे एक छोटे से एक डिंजी ट्रेनिंग सेंटर में जा रहा है जहाँ पे ऐसे टेबल चेयर लगी हुई हैं. एंड वहां पे वही बच्चे आ रहे हैं जो ITS और पॉलिटेक्निक से बेसिकली आ रहे हैं, जिनको जॉब चाहिए इन मोबाइल फैक्ट्री, लाइक अ बेस लाइन ब्लू कॉलर लेवल जॉब. एंड वहां पे जाके मैं ये सब सीखता था, बाय द वे. And anyway, so I distributed all of these kits to these children in my society that give me feedback, give me all of these things. I gave them a kitab जो मैंने खुद से basically बनाई थी, give them videos on that curriculum जो खुद से बनाया था. I did everything myself. So by the way, I call myself jack of all trades, master of none. And I think that's a good thing which happened to me. Some people say that this is a very bad thing, that you were learning everything but you're master of none. But I think it's because of that Skrinabox is here today, because I could actually look at every department myself in the early stages. Anyway, gave those kits to children, and there were mothers also sitting over there. So एक mother ने बोला, अच्छा, this is a box in which you learn skills, you give
Okay.
skills. So this is like
Interesting.
skill in a box.
Interesting.
And that was a eureka moment for us. That so always listen to your customers. Give your product free of cost to somebody, and they will literally tell you the feedback of what they really want and the problem basically they want to get solved, and if your product is actually solving that or not.
What was the exact push for Skill in a Box? I mean, was it a moment? Was it a frustration? Was it just the love for skill development? What was that moment when you said, "बस यही करना है भाई अब तो"?
Okay, I'll split this journey into two parts. So, after I shut down my startup CSB, I was barely left with any capital. I was left with very less capital. मेरे पास I think करीब 8-10 लाख रुपए बचे होंगे in that from that CSB journey, which I deployed into building this kits and raw materials, sourcing from China and designing PCB boards because उसका भी cost काफी मतलब लगता था उस time पे high million को लगता था. So I used that capital over there, right? And फिर COVID आ गया. So COVID में basically I really couldn't do a lot of things. I didn't know how to sell. I was the founder who always said that यार मुझे अगर कोई sales का बंदा मिल जाए ना तो मेरा फिर मैं बहुत सा कर पाऊंगा. मेरे को वो विजन है, मेरे को वो स्ट्रैटेजी है, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, जो कभी टेस्ट नहीं करी थी मैंने बाय द वे, बस मैं अपने आप सोचता था ये. Which was the most failed statement I could ever make. Because after that I realized जब ये मैं स्टार्टअप को ऊपर नहीं ले जा पाया, जो स्किल बॉक्स का किट वाला था स्टार्टअप्स DIY किट्स का, when I couldn't actually take this up, I realized I have to learn sales, Pratik. If you don't learn it now, you're going to die. I have to basically learn a lot of small tech. Small tech was building your websites, learning performance marketing across Google, Meta and everything. So I learned all of that in COVID. And जब वो सीखा basically, then again, the knack of helping people. Now, I don't know if you know this or not. I started something called as EmpowerX in COVID. And EmpowerX, basically, I got with a friend of mine whose name was Gauri. And she is from Pearl Fashion. And Gauri and me, basically, we really want to do something for the people and the maidservants who had lost their jobs. So हमने एक छोटा सा curriculum बनाया कि mask कैसे बनाते हैं. This is the entry into fashion, by the way. Now you'll get to know how fashion came to me.
Right.
And because Gauri is a designer, तो गौरी ने पैटर्न्स बना दिए, सिखा दिए, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. और गौरी के पास सिलाई की मशीनें भी थी. So we had 4 सिलाई की मशीनें, and हमने वो अपने मेड सर्वेंट्स को बांट दी. And they started making masks. I built the website. I learned performance marketing, and in the next 3 to 4 months, we sold masks more than 5-6 lakh rupees. That was, of course, we gave all the profits to the maid servants over there. We didn't really keep anything for our own, but because mask ka bhi season tha, mask bhi bike. But that was the eureka moment for me that I was confident that I could build a website. I was confident I could do performance marketing. I had never done before. I was confident that I could basically build a small curriculum on fashion, and fashion could actually be taught online. Because जब कोविड में हम इनको सिखा रहे थे सिलाई मशीन को बांट के, टेक्निकली हम फोन कॉल पे ही सिखा रहे हो, वीडियो कॉल पे ही सिखा रहे थे, क्योंकि हम ज्यादा बाहर नहीं जा पा रहे थे. So this was the moment for me that fashion and makeup are basically going to work in India, and these are life skills. तो तब मुझे पता लगा fashion एक life skill है actually. I'm sure आपके अगर आप देखोगे your parents or your grandparents कहीं ना कहीं fashion से linked होंगे. आपके घर में कहीं ना कहीं किसी को सिलाई कढ़ाई एम्ब्रॉयडरी पक्का आती है.
Grandmother is always.
और सिलाई मशीन तो होगी. Exactly. आपको स्वेटर बुन रही होंगी, etc etc.
Yeah.
So fashion is a life skill, and this we got that insight. So engineering helps you get all of these logical insights.
Yeah, interesting because वो उषा की काली मशीन होती थी. आई थिंक वो तो सबके घर में होती थी.
Yes.
अब आई नो आई थिंक
पैर वाली.
हाँ वो तो या हाथ वाली ऐसे वो सबके घर होती ही थी. सिलाई तो होती ही आती थी.
Yes.
Interesting.
So this was the first part of the journey. Second, what made me actually start Skillbox was, I think, the dire need, because I was down and out. I am not making this up. मैं अपने बैंक स्टेटमेंट दिखा सकता हूँ. 2022, 21, 22, I was out of capital. I had nothing to do. I didn't even have the confidence that मुझे कोई नौकरी देगा तो किसके लिए देगा, मुझे ये नहीं पता था. And I was 32 years old back then. And so my family was behind me that get a job, enough of this. I think I was probably my friend's family had just written me off and कि भाई इससे नहीं हो पाएगा, etc etc, and he's been a failure, etc etc. So that failure tag was like revolving around me like a massive eagle on my face and my head, and at that point in time, and I was shit scared. I was like, okay, what's gonna happen to me in my life? And 2022, least amount of capital left, less than 1 lakh rupee left. I had Kanis with me, and thank God he's still there. Kanis was an intern, and I had 2-3 other people with me, and no capital left. I said I have to give this a start. I have to launch this. I have to see where it goes. And this is the biggest risk probably I'll take ever in my life.
Hmm.
So I don't know again if you know this, but 2022 of Jan, हमने website हमने change कर दी from DIY kits to fashion. हमने pivot कर दिया पूरा fashion and makeup. हमने performance marketing में हमने 1-2 carousel बनाए, 1-2 static posts बनाए, हमने ad शुरू कर दिए, हमने lead gen शुरू कर दिया. तो वहाँ पर CRM में नहीं था, हम whiteboard पे lead लिखते थे, and हमने call करना शुरू कर दिया. The first month we did about 2-3 lakh rupees of sales. The second month we did about 5-6 lakh rupees of sales top line. The third month we did 25 lakh rupees of sales, and no product had been built. This was just a test. I was just selling the concept, and so many customers basically had joined us. So that was again a eureka moment for us, and since then we've just been scaling.
So from
more and more.
a lakh rupee in the bank to a BMW in 3 years. So that was, I mean, hard questions. Investors' money. Do you know?
We have raised very less capital.
Yeah.
We have raised very less capital. We have raised less than 1 crore, and like today, like in terms of revenues, like I think we're doing fairly well.
Yeah.
Like we should be above 6-7 million probably by this year itself, and we will be profitable. That in the greater part. You know our books.
So it's a earned BMW.
Yeah, it's earned. Okay, first of all, again, my team, okay? So this is, again, it goes both ways from a team's perspective. So this car basically, or what basically you're highlighting right now, first of all, it is one of my dream cars.
Yeah.
I always wanted to buy it.
Yeah.
And second, I was never buying it, by the way. It was the team, Ritvik, Kanis, Kishle, Pradeep, etc. Matlab, I had taken a decision, I'm not going to buy it. Okay, enough of this, I'm not going to buy it. They went, they did all the documentation, सब कुछ उन्होंने किया, and finally they were like, you have to buy it, otherwise I'm not coming to office tomorrow. मतलब ये क्या होता है? So and a very fine line was said by Ritvik and Kanishk over there that Pratik, if you don't have aspirations, if you don't fulfill your aspirations, how will we basically look up to you as well? And how will we dream of basically things? How will we dream? You ask us to dream. If you are not fulfilling your dreams, how will we fulfill ours? So I think that was a very fine, teary-eyed moment line basically said by Ritvik. And that's how basically it happened.
Interesting.
But yes, it's all hard-earned through us guys. This car is literally hard-earned through us.
And that was my point to highlight it.
Yeah.
It can be earned. I mean.
Yeah, I mean we did a lot of checks before basically even buying the car. Like the team literally did a lot of checks. I did a lot of checks, like where am I personally in my life finances? Where are my personal finances in my life? Where are the company finances? How well we are doing? What is the runway we have?
Yeah.
Have we shared enough profits with the team or not? So I think before even I bought this car, me, Ritvik and all of us, we took a decision to basically share profits with the team members first. And we did that. And we keep doing that, by the way, every year. So yeah, I think that was the...
No, I'm a big fan of BMWs coming out of the bottom line versus an exits where the companies go bust later. So, pretty good example for people to.
I asked you only, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I remember.
I know.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about. I mean, we've known Skill in a Box journey where the seed was sown.
Right.
I think most important part for any startup journey is the team.
Yeah.
And in your case, I've seen. Not multiple co-founders. I've seen you and then you building a team of co-founders and a very young team that I've seen groom up. Of course, it has its own pros and cons, but what's your take or what's your insight of the way you've built up team? Because it's been very unorthodox way, the way you have built up the team. If people look it from outside, they'll say, and they might even question, although it's proven its success.
Yeah.
But the traditional world will look at a lot of question marks. What has in your thought process, how you think you've been successful in creating this young team and motivating them to come to leadership roles, become first-time managers and being 100 plus now?
Yeah.
So what's your leadership thought on how to have you built the team?
Okay, I think first of all, none of us knew what leaders are. None of us knew what leadership is before even we started this company. And we just basically had it, like whatever came to us, we solved the problem and we went forward. And we solved the problem basically with keeping one thing in mind, that's Skrinobox at its core, and the problem which we are solving at the core. And हमने जिससे ही बात करी है, whether it has been our customers, our family, our team members, our girlfriends, boyfriends, everybody else, etc. मतलब हमने यही हमने 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 हम हमेशा SIB को हमने ऊपर रखा है, क्योंकि SIB is that basically organization which is solving a very great human problem. And वहीं पे देख के हमने team basically करी है curate. And coming back to why did we take this decision? Because it was from an insight. And I'm sure that you also will agree to this insight right now. The world is, we have Gen Zs, Gen Alphas. They are the ones who are the future leaders of this country, of Bharat, of this whole world, right?
Yeah.
We have to, and they are very differently wired than you and me and everybody else. They are different in nature from so many aspects. Like literally, we made a whole chart, by the way, that because everybody speaks about Gen Zs, Gen Alphas in a pro and con way. Like we just did, right? And like इनके ये pros हैं, इनके ये cons हैं, इनका patience level ये है, इनका patience level वो है, इनका they get distracted very fast or they want change very fast, etc., etc. तो हमने literally एक flowchart बनाया. I am not joking. We actually did it, right? And we said that how can we instill all of this into our company? That how can basically our team get motivated every day? How can our team basically find something else to do every day? I think our industry also helped us because we being in fashion and makeup. So if you see our team, it's like how their mind is basically channeling multiple information every day through Instagram reels and content. They're all this Clinobox ka environment is also channeling their mind every day because we are doing something new every day. So it was literally from a perspective on how we can actually curate a safe space where they can get inspired, they can get motivated, they can become leaders, they can become entrepreneurs, they can become entrepreneurs. Like I say this to the team over here. अगर आपने यहाँ पे आके काम करके अपना खुद का स्टार्टअप नहीं किया शुरू, तो then you are wasting your time. I'm not even joking because यहाँ पे this is the unfiltered 0 to 1 journey where somebody with the least amount of money has got the highest amount of a company has got highest amount of returns with respect to building a company which is very close knit to each other, building a social media community at the rate of more than 1.5, 1.6 million, having customers not just in India but the world. I don't know, but very seldom and rarely we've heard, and profitable by the way. EBITDAs are great.
The exceptions. Huh?
Yes. So, I mean, if you heard basically a startup story, basically other than this, that were at this scale, I mean, definitely I would love to learn more and more and more from them. But we just, after 3 years, by the way, हमने literally सर उठा के देखा, हमने कहा हमने किया क्या है. Because 3 साल तक हमने ना अपना बैंक का स्टेटमेंट देखा कि हम कितना पैसा बचा रहे हैं, हम बस बचाते गए. We were very frugal. We are still frugal. हम इतने ज्यादा फ्रूगल थे पहले, तो मतलब हम जुगाड़ से काफी काम करते थे. हमारे चाहे वीडियो क्रिएशंस हो या रील क्रिएशंस हो या सेटअप क्रिएशंस हो, एक्सेप्ट, वहां पर जगह भी नहीं थी इतनी बड़ी. टुडे यू सी दिस बिग ऑफिस ऑफ Skillnerbox, like, but this is just 5 months old at the end of the day. So we've, I think, been very frugal, and but this frugality has been instilled in the Gen Z and the Gen Alphas. I'll be very honest, upfront on camera. You give the right set of basically culture, environment, and a vision, and make sure that you expose them to the right set of network. The Gen Z and the Gen Alpha are the future leaders. They're going to help you basically get to that ladder up and up again. Ek kadam aage every day.
But how do you kind of manage it with 100 plus folks? Because I know early on this is pretty close knit.
Right.
But when you cross some numbers,
Right.
you kind of, I mean, it happens with me also. It happened with you also, that some people have joined, we don't know the name. That starts happening after 100, 150. How do you continue to ensure that that cultural value is embedded when the company grows?
Okay, so first of all, we're still learning. We're not pioneers of basically this. अभी हम 100 of कुछ महीने पहले ही हुए हैं. So we're still learning on the go. And I think first things first, which I personally do is that I travel a lot across multiple cities and offices basically, which we have. And I make sure that I'm sitting with most of the people in the team, talking about Skillnerbox, its vision and the problems which we are solving, and sharing stories, sharing insights, a lot of it, and building strategies with them. Like, I would have sat with every team over here in this company in the past 30 days again and again of building that how can we actually scale this up faster and better. So that involvement is there, that personal involvement is there. We have curated structures and processes internally across every department. We have SOPs for every department which we've created and which we've been doing since day 0. So SOPs are just getting upgraded now, basically. Like marketing की अपनी अलग SOP है, sales की अपनी अलग SOP है. Like अगर आप हमारी सेल्स फ्लोर पे जाओगे और आप किसी से पूछ लोगे कि दैट आप अपनी मुझे ब्लूप्रिंट बता दो पूरी जर्नी की, स्क्रीन बॉक्स की आपकी जर्नी SIB में वो आपको पूरी बता देगा कि मैं ऐसा ऐसा बन सकता हूँ और मैं ये करूंगा तो मैं ये बनूंगा, मैं ये करूंगा तो ये बनूंगा, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, और इक्विटी में ऐसे कमा सकता हूँ SIB के, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. सो ये सब हमने पूरा ब्लूप्रिंट हमने बना के रखा हुआ है और उसको हम अपग्रेड ही करते रहते हैं. सो आई थिंक लेसन इज दैट पीपल थिंक अ लॉट दैट हमको ये करना चाहिए, हमको ये करना चाहिए. हमने फर्स्ट लेवल ड्राफ्ट पे हमने करके छोड़ दिया, उसके बाद हम उस पर एडिशन करते हैं, एडिशन करते हैं, एडिशन करते हैं, एडिशन करते हैं. The third, what we do is we do a lot of feedbacks. A lot of feedbacks.
Interesting.
So I do a lot of, like, हमारी काफी ऐसे CEO ratings भी होती हैं. Across spectrums, like ऋत्विक की रेटिंग अलग होती है, कनिष्क की अलग होती है, मेरी अलग होती है. Feedbacks हमारे लोग काफी 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 ज्यादा हैं across departments. So I think that also basically helps us going. So yeah, system structures, processes, feedbacks, constant involvement. It's going to take a lot of energy, but do it. It'll be very nice. But yeah, so now I think I have a team and we have a team where I can literally say, like, I literally went for a vacation right now after 4 years. This was last month, and the team almost worked without my any intervention, and we did perfectly fine, I guess. So all the problems were solved. So yeah.
Yeah. So let's go back to the first year. What will you feel that you absolutely nailed? And what is it that you thought, oh, this has gone wrong?
A lot of things went wrong. A lot of things we won't say again, we won't say we nailed everything. I think we were just very consistent to build a momentum which stayed with us till date. I'll start from the smallest of the consistency. जब हमने शुरू करी थी कंपनी, तब हम मॉर्निंग स्क्रम करते थे from 9:30 10ish to about 11:30. वो आज तक चलती है.
Stand-ups kind of thing here.
वो आज तक है, एक दिन मिस नहीं हुआ है in the past so many years. Not even one day, basically. Second, हमारा content. Basically, जब हमने शुरू किया था डालना, हमने creation reels डाली थी, हमने बहुत सारा content डाला था. We've been very consistent in doing that. पहले आपको likes नहीं आते थे, message नहीं आते थे, एक साथ कुछ नहीं आया हमें, but we never got dejected. We said keep going, keep going, keep
Consistency.
going. Consistency, which built momentum then. So yeah, activities like for example, from a content perspective, we have gone so deep into our product and content. Like, if you ask me that what is next in Scrimbox from a very product perspective in fashion itself, my product team, our product team is booked until next year ending. Our shoots are booked until next year ending. So that means the planning is there till next year ending कि क्या launch होने वाला है, क्या आने वाला है, और किसका upgrade आने वाला है, किसका upgrade होने वाला है. So all that is already basically planned in place.
So you started off with Noida.
Yes.
Then
2 years in that.
2 BSK flat.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's where we met.
Yes.
Yeah. Supernova.
Yes.
And then you kind of moved into an office in Noida and you then expanded to Pune.
Bombay, then Pune.
How do you decide which city you have to move to next?
So first of all, I truly believe that we should be there in all cities of India. Our experiential center should be there in all cities of India. And if you ask me that, Prateek, how is basically the speed of you growing in all cities of India, I would say slow right now. My investors are behind me that too slow है. And देखो अभी 10 शहर में हो जाना चाहिए था. But I think when you don't raise a lot of money, right? You need to sometimes also choose between speed and
It's an inverse correlation.
Yeah. So your speed or your betas, basically everything else, etc. And I think we are building something for a legacy over here. So Screenbox is not just Screenbox. Screenbox is basically it has like a whole earning wing to it where users basically can earn. It has House of Entrepreneury. Everything what you see on HOE has been made by learners, has been designed by learners. We have a separate vertical basically now, and this was I want to answer this in your impact question actually. That we really want to make impact and create for impact, but we started from actually a small niche of a top of the pyramid people who actually had the money to pay for it. And it's not that our intent was never to go basically the bottom of the pyramid. Our intent was definitely to go at the bottom of the pyramid. And we have a new product which we're launching for them very soon, which will help basically the people who can't actually afford this product.
I'll come to that question.
Absolutely get it done. Yes, fair enough. So coming back, why Bombay, why Pune? I think Bombay is a fashion capital is what we had witnessed. And we want to basically get into all of cities. Why Pune? Because Pune is an education capital of Maharashtra. And Pune and every state में हमें होना है. हर एक स्टेट का एक अलग अलग कल्चर है बेसिकली विच इज एक्चुअली embedded into our program. So how do we pick cities? We just basically see where our learner viewers are coming from, where's the highest number of viewership, where people are basically watching us, where people are commenting on us, where people are actually buying our products from. And yeah, we choose cities based on
Does government initiative become a key variable in which city you go to next? Is this government initiatives a key, I would say, a push to let you choose a city?
So we don't get any funds from the government. That's A. Okay. So all we basically get from government is the recognition what we give to our learners. So that is not a lever for us to basically choose a city. Second, we have finally basically been thinking of involving ourselves with the government so that we can also basically go to the last mile, because you go to the last mile and government will take you faster over there. Rather than basically you going yourself. So so government intervention from that front in choosing a city is not. I would say no. Yeah.
So what city is next in pipeline?
Next we're coming to Indore, we're coming to Ahmedabad, we're coming to Bhopal, we're coming to Chandigarh, we're coming to Lucknow. मैं यूपी से हूँ, यूपी मैंने ज़्यादा काम नहीं किया. Then South India, we're coming to South India as well. So yeah, a lot of cities basically in pipeline, but I think
that's the magic of India, man. Full of opportunities. There is no earth of it. Go to every nook and corner. So we have a short rapid fire, but before that, you touched upon a term called investors. So let's get to and you've raised around not much of it.
Yeah.
What we've seen is a little dilution that happens in a approach or a vision or a path for a founder whenever a share capital gets diluted.
Right.
It's not just the equity capital that's getting diluted. You're also diluting your thought process.
Right.
You're also diluting a little bit of control over the company. How lucky you have been on that front? Has it been easier? Have you got the right mentors? Has it also been a little challenging? What has been your journey so far? Because not many rounds have been raised, but I think you got decent enough investors on your cap table.
Yeah, I'll answer this question by defining luck.
Yeah.
Because I think some people basically think that some people are luck, right? And some people have it all. But I think that's not the case. You can actually build your own luck. How you build your own luck is basically how you are as a human being, how you are as a person, and how hard you work. Basically, how many times you fall down and get up, and the kind of basically network you make in between that, and not being that negative person, but just radiating positively at the end of the day. So that is the luck which I created over the past 10 years of my journey, the first 10 years of my journey.
So we use an equation, luck is equals to service area that you have.
Yeah.
Plus the hard work that you have done, plus the number of times that you have done. That's what becomes lucky.
For example, I'll tell you my luck over here in terms of finding investors. First of all, I have the most amazing investors. All of them. Like I can't even think of anything basically who like everybody's tried to help me in the best way possible. And how I found them basically, how the network started basically growing was from my early days. If you ask any of my ex-bosses, because those are the ones who are on my cap table, my friends are there on my cap table.
Yeah.
If you ask any of them on what Prateek is and how Prateek was basically as a team member or as a friend or somebody like that, I am sure that they will say that, in fact, whenever my team meets my ex-bosses, कि Prateek is somebody who was very dedicated, very positive. Like for example, अगर आप मेरे बॉस हो, right? And आपने मुझे डांटा है या आपने मुझे basically किसी काम के लिए basically आपने मुझे देर तक बिठाया है, etc. I would be like literally on, and I would make sure that I would always make sure that I will make you smile and go away. So that was my intent from day zero when I used to work basically around ILFS also, in my basically other roles at CSB, when I used to meet people, and I used to always like solve the problem basically of what you were. I didn't care if it's 1 a.m. I didn't care if it's 2 a.m. or whatever time is it. If you give me something and if I'm supposed to solve it, I'll goddamn solve it. So that's the equation I've formed over 10 years. So when I started Splinterbox, my first set of early bosses really helped me. My first set of friends helped me. The kind of friends basically I made in my life, I just basically wrote to them that I need this check, I need this money. I am not kidding. I really need this. Otherwise, I am done in my life. Like I need this first bit of capital. And they just wired in. They just signed the term sheet. It was Anand, it was Prabal. Then Arun Sarad had basically come in. Then Prashant Nair sir is the most. He's the best mentor, probably what I probably got in my life, and he still date. Or first of all, I don't know how many founders basically have this, but all my investors are on one call away. All of them. Like Prashant Nair sir, if I call right now, he'll pick up. He'll actually pick up, and I'll just basically I'll rant my problem or I'll say my problem, and he'll probably give me a story or an explanation which might not be the best, but he'll be there for me. Same thing. Then I have Tony sir, Jomi sir. Tony sir took all of our tech basically. Like he handles all of our tech now. Amit Kulshesh sir. Amit Kulshesh sir has been such a vibe in the organization. He has energy. Like he has so much of energy, and he is somebody basically who comes and says that I want you to just explore India fast and fast and the world fast and fast. So he keeps inspiring us. He keeps motivating us. And he is somebody who's taken us up from zero to IPO. So that level of expertise and mentorship is what we have. Then we have Akshay from Leverage Edu. And Akshay has doubled down on us. And Akshay is like, "Bhai, tu kya kar raha hai, yaar? The people need you today. What are you doing? Why are you going so slow? The people need you today, Prateek." And that is the message basically I keep getting from my investors. And they're always there to help me. So I've been really lucky to find the best set of investors. But that luck actually came out with a lot of persistence and hard work. For example, if you ask Akshay that how did I land up Akshay, I didn't know Akshay, by the way. I met him at a conference. I actually chased Akshay very persistently on messages for about 6 to 8 months. And it was not messages like, please meet me, I want funding. Please meet me, I want funding. It was not messages like this. I kept on updating about the company, that how the company is doing every month. So there were update messages basically going to him. And one day, literally, I remember this day, I was sitting in Starbucks and Akshay had basically just sent me a voice note that bhai tere mein bahut persistence hai, tu aake mil le. Yeah. So I've been lucky to find the right set of
Again, helps come to those at Hogwarts who ask for it. You need to know how to ask.
Yes.
So interesting point you talked about 24/7 availability. You're so confident on your investors. Why don't you just call one of them and let's just test your thought process?
Yeah. Okay, fine. Let's do this. Sir, please.
And maybe even just need desperate help, and that's how you can start.
Let's see. Hi, sir. Good evening. How are you?
Good, Prateek. Give me 5 minutes. I'm on a call. I'll call you back.
Acha, theek hai, sir. Theek hai. Done, sir. All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's validated though. I mean,
Nobody picked up. He could have not picked up the phone because he was on another call.
Yeah.
So
probably he'll call back and we'll continue that.
He'll
I mean,
definitely
he'll still
call.
validate it. Just one bell and it's like, oh, hey, Pradeep.
Yeah.
There can't be a bigger validation than this.
And trust me, and sir has like Prashant sir, by the way, he goes back into education space a lot. He was the CEO of Time Education Group, by the way, and which got sold to Veranda Learning. So he has massive experience over there of scaling edtech / center-led businesses over there.
Yeah.
So I think all of my investors, like if I call Tony sir or any other investor, they'll be there with me. But I think they're not just there just because Prateek is Prateek, right? I think it's the team and the execution what they see also. That this is really something which we really want to back at the end of the day, and this is an impact which probably like Bharat and the world will be impacted by it. And the execution, I think what our team has shown, I think that is the reason that they pick up the call. It's just not me.
By the time he calls back, we'll do our short rapid fire.
Done.
Very short answers.
Yes.
What has been your proudest Skill in a Box moment?
When the team members invested into the company.
And it was in which year?
Last year.
Interesting.
This was very interesting, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, there can't be a bigger validation when your own employees come back and start investing in that.
And that was very high intent.
I'll go to the next. One course or kit you wish you could fast track to the market?
Shoemaking.
Shoemaking. Yeah. Interesting. Is that in the pipeline already?
Yes.
Yeah. Worst piece of business advice you ever got?
Treat investors' money only as money and don't take them as mentors. I don't know why people say this, but if somebody is basically putting money into you, they should have an intent of putting money into you.
And since you have such a good investor pool, best advice that you've got so far?
Head down, build, keep going. Even if you're falling down, we're there to basically back you. But keep looking at a problem as a solution. That for every problem, there is a solution.
Apart from the demand, which city you will personally want to open an experiential center to?
I would love to open experience centers across all cities. But if you ask me that one city where I really want to basically open an experiential center right now will be okay, very, very tough question. But yeah, maybe somewhere in South India. I guess Bangalore or Chennai.
And one last one, though I never thought of asking this, you call, because it's such an engrossed discussion that we are doing.
Yeah.
Are you obsessed with Skill in a Box or you're addicted to it?
Okay, I'm not obsessed. I'm not addicted. It's just that I think I just love what all of us at Skill in a Box are doing. And I think our deeds combined together is called Skill in a Box. So technically the heart and soul is us all together. So
Yeah.
I'm neither addicted, I'm neither obsessed. I just love that we actually bring a tear to happy tears to people's eyes.
Yeah, that was the KPI that you're measuring.
Yeah.
So I talked about you being techie and then coming to fashion, and you've linked the two.
Yeah.
But one thing we are highlighting and asking successful founders or say founder mindset is skill more important than degree? I mean, how important has academics for you? But you're in a skill development
Yeah.
line, so you'll be able to answer it the best for
Yeah,
this Gen Z
yeah.
and Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
How important is a degree versus a skill?
Okay. For the if you look at the Bharat, right? If you look at Bharat as a whole and the majority of the Bharat at the end of the day, skill will be very important than a degree. I would say that. I am not dissing degrees, by the way. You will need degrees. A doctor will need that degree to basically
Yeah.
get you like if you want to get operated, you will need that doctor with an amazing degree. You would need that lawyer at the end of the day. You would need that IT guy or that engineer guy, etc., etc. So I'm not dissing degrees. But if you look at the macro level, at the macro level, the Bharat basically, which is the most of the population, skill is the way to basically go forward. So skills is greater than degrees is what we call it. So that's why we don't call ourselves a ed tech company. We are a skill tech company, and we're going to basically get mass consumable job roles / skills right at your doorstep, which you can actually learn by doing and can actually create an income out of it.
Interesting. So, I mean, an interesting thought that always comes, and it's kind of coming into our conversation also, is building with the customer. Your brand name, which came out.
Yeah.
How have you pivoted or reacted to customer feedback? Have you ever pivoted a curriculum or changed your dynamics? How has feedback been important for you?
We have a whole department on feedback. It's called CSAT, and it's led by Sushmita, and it has a decent enough team basically. So feedback is the integral part of Skill in a Box. अगर आप हमारा कोर्स खरीदोगे तो basically आपको हर level पे feedback आप दोगे.
Okay.
And feedback has been very consistent from not just from a team perspective but a customer perspective also. अभी हमने अपना जनरेशन 4 प्लेटफॉर्म अभी लॉन्च किया है बेसिकली, जहाँ पे हमारा पूरा कंटेंट अपडेट हुआ है फ्रॉम जनरेशन 1 जनरेशन 3 हुआ है.
Can you highlight also when you say generation 1 or for what is generation 1?
Generation 1 was basically the first set of LMS, the first set of content basically जो हमने लॉन्च किया था कंपनी में, which was in 2022. Then feedback. Then students said कि इसको ऐसे सिखाना चाहिए, इसको ऐसे होना चाहिए. Trainers also said it.
Yeah.
Some stakeholders basically said it. So generation 2 came where we shot new level of content, where we shot, so content duration also went up. जो content basically पहले 10-15 मिनट के थे, अब वो 25-30 मिनट के हो गए थे in generation 2. Generation 3 came in where we updated the content in a much more depther way. So we have broken down the content like into like various parts. It's like a literally pyramid level breakout जो हमने किया है. That is about core strategy, but that is a moat, by the way, on how we curate content. We have used a lot of these content generation techniques / strategies. Like एक Bloom methodology होती है of breaking down content. So ऐसे काफी सारे methodologies हैं on which you can create content on. So generation 3 is based on that now. So it has got so many new additions as well now. So feedbacks has helped us get these generation content out. So if you ask me, Pratik, when is generation 4 coming? Because you just released 3, we're already on track to release 4.
And as you kind of scale, how do you, I mean, of course, it's good to know you already have a CSAT feedback, and we'll come to moat also, you talked about it, but how are you able to sustain the quality when scale is coming in?
Yeah.
We're still being profitable, still not kind of putting a lot of money into that side of the story. How you are still able to maintain your escalations, still deliver the quality? How are you doing the quality control?
Team.
Yeah, that's always the best answer.
Yeah, and but we have we've got our technology platform also up now. And in fact, it's pre-launched. We're just launching it very soon, which basically solves a lot of my problems for the team at scale. So pehle, what my team was doing manually has been basically automated in a very nice way, whether it is responding to messages, whether it is basically solving doubts, whether it is doubt boxes, whether it is, we have integrated AI also basically a lot into the tech right now. So, and AI has not taken any job, by the
Yeah.
way.
So
Yeah.
it's just a efficiency lever.
Yeah, it's just an efficiency lever now. And so I think the tech part of Sklinderbox is getting better and better every day. And you're going to see basically really good solutions come out of Sklinderbox for these learning outcomes.
Yeah. So let me drill down your product as a common man, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. So you send me a fashion kit
Yeah.
where I can learn fashion designing, certified courses, some specific specialist courses. But with such AI coming into fashion industry, because you touched upon that topic, do you think there is a risk of designing per se itself because AI is going to do things much, much faster? What hand skills were prominently used for, and what's the risk there?
No, I think so. I truly believe that design basically is a culmination of your thoughts and ideas basically coming together, and that is what is called as mood board in fashion, by the way. So it's a culmination of basically your designs, your ideas coming together, and you building something out of it. AI is just going to basically help you get designs out faster. Of course, AI will help you getting your fabrics a little faster, getting your designs into products a little faster. But I think fashion and makeup or cosmetology as a whole, or shoes for that matter, or jewelry for that matter, is getting dissected a lot now because the consumption is also increasing. फैशन जितना डाइसेक्ट हो रहा है अभी इंडिया में या फिर कोई भी और अगर जॉब रोल डाइसेक्ट हो रहा है इंडिया में इट इज ऑल्सो क्रिएटिंग अ लॉट ऑफ जॉब्स ओवर देयर सो आई थिंक डोंट be fury of AI. Use AI for the right set of inspiration, right set of motivation, which can actually curate something which the people want. Today you have AI so that you can actually basically ask, you can actually get to know कि बिहार में किसी को क्या चाहिए वर्सेस कन्याकुमारी में किसी को क्या चाहिए वर्सेस यूरोप में किसी को क्या चाहिए एंड बेस्ड ऑन दैट यू कैन बेसिकली मेक दैट एंड सेल rather than basically producing first and then figuring out at the end of the day. So use AI in the right manner. I don't think so AI is going to take jobs. I truly believe that AI is a very amazing enabler. And हम काफी AI पे अभी काम करना शुरू कर दिया है हमने. And but guys, it's not taking away jobs.
Absolutely.
We're expanding.
Absolutely. So it has been, I mean, good to know the 0 to 1 journey. But one thing I personally feel as a founder mindset is the mental health, especially people who are creating, right? And the importance of having that composure, right? What's been the toughest year for you so far in Skill in a Box, and why?
I think all years have been tough, by the way. I am not going to sideline any year. I'm going to respect each year, basically.
Yeah.
So things were tough when we were a small team. Things were tough when we were a big team. So every year, every basically moment has its own journey. As I said, yesterday was a very meh kind of a day for me. And but I think how we overcome that is honestly just sitting with your people, sitting with your group of people who apparently in my case are my team, and just laying down and talking about anything.
I saw you looking at your team when I
Yeah,
said the word mental health.
yeah, because we definitely do speak about mental health, but in a very joking kind of a manner. And we're there to take care of each other. Like if somebody's mental health flips, it's not that we are raising the alarm bell, etc., etc. Like अगर ऋत्विक का कुछ अगर flip हो रहा है या फिर श्रिया का हो रहा है या फिर कनिष्क का हो रहा है, I'll take them out for a beer. I'll go to their house. I'll sit with them. I'll chill with them. I'll take them for a drive. हमने इतना किया है कि because I love driving, by the way. हमने दिल्ली बॉम्बे ड्राइव्स करी हैं just because mentally I was like so like okay fine अभी उनको कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा and मेरे को बहुत आइडियाज आते हैं जब मैं ड्राइव करता हूँ. So I took ऋत्विक, हम पूरी रात गाड़ी चलाई है हमने. And so I think it's mental health is very important. Yes, I would agree to that. I think whatever basically makes you happy and makes that weight actually decrease, you do that for yourself. Whether it is drinking a beer with a loved one, or whether it is going out on a drive, whether it is playing a game, whether it is going to the gym. These people are fed up of me, man. By the way, whenever I'm traveling with them, right, and if I'm let's say staying in a hotel in any city, whether it is 1 a.m. at night or 2 a.m. at night, means हम सब लोग साथ में जाके gym करते हैं.
Interesting.
And they will not like it in the beginning, but after the gym, they'll be like, "Oh wow, we feel pumped right now."
Cross the line. Yeah.
Yes, we feel pumped right now. And so, I mean, these are some of the things which we keep doing for mental health. Yeah.
So, what value system you've carried forward from your own, CSB or the other skill impact organization you worked? What are the initial value systems you've carried on so far?
It's the value systems, basically the very first core, the value system which I said in the beginning of the podcast was execution. I have always been an executor. कि मतलब I will not sit on something कि हम कर लेंगे figure out पहले research करते हैं etc and then हम सोचेंगे basically. Execute. So execution has been the most value system. Next is trust. Trust has been the most important lever for us. And I think that has got to do with actually how we've built as a team also. It's not that छोटे मोटे झूठ हमने एक दूसरे को नहीं बोले हैं, साथ में नहीं बोले हैं, but we've always basically come up together and come close together and we've accepted and acknowledged. The acceptance has always been there in us. And that has basically made our bonds as strangers go stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. So it's not that कि एक ने किसी ने झूठ बोल दिया etc तो बस सारी मतलब तलवारें उसी पे आ गई types. See, human beings are built in a way where they have insecurities, they have fears. Because of all these reasons, sometimes they do tend to basically take that wrong route. But it's always, I think the highlight is that it's always giving them that second chance. It's always giving them that motivation that yeah, we're there. It's okay. You don't have to make mistakes. Even if you do, we're there at the end of the day. And Skillnabox के लिए काफी ज़्यादा important रहा है. Like Shreya has made a lot of mistakes. I have made a lot of mistakes. I still do. She does. Everybody does at the end of the day. But like Ganesh made a very blunder of a mistake. मतलब हमारा extra पैसा लगा है. I'm not even joking. हमारा काफी extra पैसा लगा है because of his one mistake. But that doesn't mean that. And the narrative of the company was that we lost this much amount of money. Now, Kanishk, you figure out a way. How do we earn that back in 3 days?
I mean, that's not the right approach, huh?
So that's how you basically gain trust at the end of the day. So acceptance has been one of the most important levers. Trust, acceptance. Then we have ownership. We have accountability. Ownership is at very high levels at SIB. As I said, that you have seen me traveling across multiple cities here and there, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm not in the office, doesn't mean that the office is not working. Doesn't mean that, there's a fine saying that what people do behind your back really matters. And this is something what we have lived at Skillnabox every day and what we live with every day. Like what people do when I am not here or when I'm not present or when Ritvik's not present is what really matters. And you can see that in the results at the end of the day. So ownership, accountability is at an all-time high. And I think everybody's just working towards the vision of solving a problem and a purpose that scale.
Yeah.
And we want to be the biggest skilling company in India and the world.
Yeah.
And I think with the team like this, we're definitely going to reach there, and further and further and further. And I'm sure that we're going to create a lot of value/businesses along the journey.
I think as an impact, women empowerment, I think will be much critical as an outcome for Skillnabox. How many lives you would have impacted?
Oh, a lot.
In terms of numbers, since you're working.
Yeah. So I believe that people who not just have paid us, but people who also follow us, who have taken a lot of our pre-courses and programs, we have probably impacted more than 50,000 people. If I look at all the data right now, in our 3.5-4 years of journey, and but it's not just women empowerment. I think the very core TG which we are empowering right now is the housewives in India. And the housewife vertical in India has been somebody who has not been focused on also. And that is the powerful mode of India at the end of the day. Because if we look at them, we look at homemakers and we also talk about them, how basically they are so versatile. They are so, mothers have the energy at the end of the day. We all know that. And they exactly know how to basically get things done in the right set of time. So, and the housewife population in India has actually increased over a period of time. So yeah, we're targeting that set of population today. And if we solve for them, we'll definitely solve for the other population, basically, who are just aside them over on this side and that side as well.
So we are at the last leg. There are few things that I noted down that I'll just touch upon. You talked about something called moat. What is moat? What is moat for your business? Can you break it down for us?
Barriers to entry, build muscles basically, so that it's difficult for basically other people to enter your business at the end of the day. So I think the biggest moat which we have is our team, and so yes, and that is honestly, you would agree to this, that I say this now, a company's EBITDA/PAT is directly proportional to basically how strong the team is.
Yeah.
Right. And so team is our biggest moat. Of course, our product is our second biggest moat, on how basically we dive deep into product and how we've bifurcated it into multiple strategies basically. Then, of course, our social media is a moat, where our community following organic is about one.
Community is about, I would say, yes, absolutely.
Community is our moat. Then I think this right set of investors by our side are our different set of moat, is what we definitely say.
So I was about to come to that, because we talked about legacy.
Yeah.
And one problem statement I've always seen is, as founder, you always want to build for legacy, but then now you have investors on board.
Yeah.
And now there's about game of sustainability versus VC game, which also is looking for an exit and multiple exit. How do you create a balance? Do you still want to play the VC game? Because of course you are lucky to have investors that do not want to play it, but in most cases they will want to have that journey of the VC game, raising more and more rounds and ultimately aiming for exit, versus a founder thinking, I have to build a legacy, think about listing and all.
Right.
How do you balance it? How do you see that journey?
I think, the good part about, and you know this better, that in 3.5 years of our journey, I think we've experienced all of this, by the way. There are investors who want an exit. We give them an exit.
Yeah.
We gave them a nice exit, a beautiful exit in 1.5 years. That was probably around 5x multi.
Right.
And so that is how you basically keep balance at the end of the day. Like, investors are coming in to earn money. Fair enough. I totally agree to that. And if they want an exit, we'll give them an exit.
Yeah.
Because of all of that, we are also, like, the company is healthy enough to actually give you an exit when you want it.
Interesting.
And I think that is how basically legacy businesses should be built. By the way, I am no expert on this. I have never done this before. I have never built a team of 100+ people. I have never scaled businesses to this set of revenues. I have never built so many structures and processes. I have never done that. And I think the fear of the lack of knowledge, the lack of future knowledge has actually helped us in our favor, because I never knew that what I'm doing will be wrong or right.
I mean, that was second last parting question that I have was the 0 to 1 journey is achieved, I would say. Now it's a 1 to 100.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you say you were पहले वाला 0 to 1 में ज़्यादा डर लगा, या 1 to 100 is like अब डर नहीं लग रहा, हाँ पता है क्या करना है? I mean, like 0 to 1 में डर लगा था, लेकिन 1 to 100 में अब it's like बॉस ये तो अभी बहुत लंबी जर्नी, बहुत बची हुई है.
0 to 1 में तो काफी डर लगा था, by the way. I'll be very honest. 0 to 1 was very scary for me, because it was also, I think, my confidence which was building up, because I had never done this before. And I was also at my breakaway point before I started this company. And I was at my last zeros, no confidence, very insecure, very fearful. मतलब काफी मैं डरा हुआ था, बहुत insecure था. So to everybody literally who's watching this, and if you're feeling this, please don't worry. Literally, it's going to go away. Just work.
Yeah.
So yeah, डर उसमें भी लगा था बहुत, but उसके आने के बाद अब डर ये लगता है that I think if everybody in Skillbox who is joined, like if they don't like break it from here, right? That is the डर basically which I have. And that is why I keep on innovating and keep on iterating a lot of things every day from a strategy perspective and from a vision perspective also. इसलिए Skillbox से काफी arms भी निकल रहे हैं अभी basically. And I think everybody should own an arm. For example, HOE is owned by Ritwik now. And just like that, we have other platforms which we're launching, which you will see it in time. And each and every of that platform is owned by a member of Skill in a Box, by 2, 3, 4 members of Skill in a Box. So I think what we're creating is an ecosystem which is solving a problem at scale and large. And we're also creating an ecosystem of entrepreneurs at the end of the day inside Skill in a Box, which will, it's I think it's like a legacy kind of a business / backward integration of whatever we're doing.
To a low-hanging fruit for all founders, say right from incorporation to fundraise and now trying a profitable company. How important has been numbers and compliance for you?
Oh, so very funny story, by the way. So I have always felt that the whole accounting / compliance / CA ecosystem in India has been a little not founder friendly. I have worked with a lot of CAs before and accounting platforms before.
Yeah.
And I never found them founder friendly. And that is the reason basically I think we heard of Startup Movers somewhere, and Akash was the person basically who came, and then after that you came in. And my first question and my first statement, actually not even question, was that, see, I know how the ecosystem is.
Yeah.
If you're not founder friendly, then nahi ho payega mujhse kaam.
Yeah.
Because I need somebody to be there with me, backing me, by my side in all of my emotions also. Because if I'm going at a very fast speed, my emotions will also vary like this.
Right.
Every human being's emotion will vary like this.
True.
So I want you to be in all sorts and sets of my journey.
Mm.
Because I've had very, very bad experiences also. But yeah, so in fact, you were the one, and Akash was the one. They were like, okay, fine, we truly understand this.
Yeah.
And it's not when you understand us over here, but it matters when you understand us over here.
Yeah.
Because this is where our emotions are running out of control. Our emotions are very high. And we've had these situations, by the way, with your team also. We've had these high-pitched tone conversations also. We've had difficult conversations also. And oh, by the way, difficult conversations. This is why Skillbox team is very strong knit. We have had very difficult conversations with each other. And we keep having them. We don't shy away from it. And this is something what I've tried to do with your team also, by the way. I have tried having the most difficult conversations, even if it basically speaks something else, I don't care. Matlab, I have to be very honest with everybody around me that this is the kind of person I am, and this is the problem I'm solving. Same thing with my investors. I have been very, very open-ended. Like if I'm feeling something which probably I'm not liking, I just speak to them right there, then on their face.
Yeah.
That's this is something basically which probably I didn't really get it. If you can understand, or if was this even right? I am very open. I am not like, oh, sir, it's okay. Nahin, it's okay. So I'm not that. Neither with the team, neither with the setup investors. So, and neither with your team as well.
So in just 10 seconds, I know you are a data-driven person. You want to have dashboards in front of you, look at numbers.
Yeah.
But I always see a lot of founders struggling around. I mean, they will have the business ethos, want to build the marketing, sales, tech. But when it comes down to numbers and compliance, they are like, ये कर लेंगे, ये बाद में कर लेंगे.
Yeah.
What advice you want to give them? What's that first thought that comes to your mind? कि भाई, ये मत करना, ये कर लेना.
So I think, okay, first of all, we are very young to give that advice. But having said that, if I have to give something is, treat your data very nicely. And start, you have GPT, you have Claude, you have so many platforms right now. Start asking on what you can and how you can filter your data on your own.
Yeah.
And try doing it on your own, by the way, all founders. Try doing it on your own once. Because once you start doing that, no, आपके दिमाग खुलेगा आपका कि आप क्या-क्या करवा सकते हो आप basically. We're always speaking on data. And in fact, when you come back to us, I probably would have something more on data. Like, for example, last time we were talking, and I said that my finance team was also working on Power BI and all of those basically data levers. Because it's not that कि हमने decide किया कि आप नहीं कर रहे, हम करेंगे, हम नहीं कर रहे, आप करोगे. But it's just that my accounts and finance team had to upskill and upgrade themselves. And this was what we looked at. And this is how we'll also get upgraded when we are presenting information to the team at the end of the day. Or taking decisions at the end of the day. So data will help you drive decisions. So very important to look at data. If you ask me, I'm doing it in the correct way today. I'm not. I'm still learning. I'm still progressing over it. But every of our decision, whether it is from a ROAS, CAC, our COGS, our unit economics, our everything basically are very data driven right now. मतलब हम अब finally हम 50 रुपए के भी हम try करते हैं कि cost कम हो जाए, because at scale it definitely reflects back into your P&L.
Right. So do you feel is impact-led entrepreneurship more difficult or it's more fulfilling?
Oh, both sides of a coin. I think it's both sides of a coin. It is. Uh, I think now it's becoming easier. By the way, it was difficult before, but now it's becoming easier because people are very well aware of it. People are very well aware that this is what is needed at the end of the day. Of course, you need D2C companies, you need the consumption is there, you need other startups as well. But if you have this in place, that will go higher because this will create employability. This will increase your per capita income, your GDPs and everything and all of that. और अगर वो होगा तब आपके सारे बाकी स्टार्टअप्स बेसिकली बहुत फ्लरिश करेंगे. So this is literally a lever to so many other startups basically growing and actually growing in the country. And I think that just sums it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we started off knowing yourself, and we'll end up with one last question
Yes.
to get the self out. We talked about in between you're not married, and that's why you have a lot of time.
Yes.
Do you think dynamics will change differently once?
I guess.
Yeah. How do you feel a founder mindset should work? Of course, you are still not on the other side.
Yes.
But I'm sure a lot of founders are in that zone of
Yeah.
being the most eligible bachelor out there, but still not able to take that call because they are engrossed in your ikigai.
Yeah.
So, are you afraid of kind of losing that track when things become a little partner oriented in future?
Entrepreneurs basically who have scaled and who are startup, like who've scaled startups also, right? It takes a lot of their energy, number one. And it changes their mindset completely from a very partner-driven mindset. Abhi, any partners coming, I'm not denying, like partners will be all about emotions and everything else, etc., right? But a founder like me will always, his brain will always be thinking कि okay, strategy, next, purpose. ये सब चलता रहेगा, emotion तो मतलब last में आएगा, right? So I think this doesn't make you eligible. This just basically makes you ineligible.
Yeah.
I think things would have been different if I probably would have been married. And this is like Kishle and Ritik once asked me that you should get married now. And they have planned my whole wedding, by the way.
Yeah, that's the team.
My whole
It should be about.
my whole team has planned पूरा wedding की संगीत पे क्या होने वाला है, मेहंदी पे क्या होने वाला है, सब पे क्या होने वाला है. Everybody has planned everything. And they were like कि नहीं आपको करनी है शादी etc etc. मैंने कहा देख किसले अगर मैं शादी कर लेता ना तो मैं तेरे को ज्यादा टाइम नहीं दे पाता. Then he's like अच्छा ठीक है सर रहने दो. So I think I mean it's definitely a beautiful thing. I'm not against it. I'm definitely for it. But the right person at the right time will probably add all the Legos of my life together and help Skrinnerbox us also basically solve the biggest problem in the world at scale. There, I've said it.
Said you are profitable founder.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pratik.
Thank
This
you.
was quite insightful. Thank you for doing this for us.